Cameron Smith created a huge buzz in the golf world when it was discovered that he'd be leaving PGA to join the LIV League. Everyone was wondering what happened there, and well, seems like the truth has finally been revealed. In this video, we'll be talking all about what finally compelled the world number 3 to join the Saudi-backed league. What's more is that LIV players finally have their off-season. Here's what's going to happen next. First up, let's talk about Smith and his PGA departure. Cameron Smith joining the LIV lineup was perhaps one of the greatest achievements of LIV Golf this year. That and finally getting hold of a streaming network. Acquiring Smith's triumphs over the others, since no one would tune in to watch their competitions if no big name was playing, was something they had to do. But now Smith is on the case, and he's all the right sort of star power they could have wanted. But wait, why did the man join the rival tour, especially since he knew all about the controversies and the sport-washing propaganda? Well, the answer has been revealed, and we've got it for you right here. Apparently, the reason why Cameron Smith thought that the LIV League was better suited for his career was that he was attracted to the guaranteed money contract and its long off-season. Turns out that the man has already decided where he's going to be spending the break from November to February. Any guesses? Yep, he's going to head back home to Australia. This long off-season is a rather new concept in professional golf. Previously, the golfers, when playing for the American-based tour, hardly got any days off, so we can't really blame them for being inclined towards LIV. Following up, that's not all that Smith found attractive about this new league in town, even though it might seem like a pretty sweet deal, but it turns out that just the idea of more money and a bunch of off days wasn't the only thing that finally pushed the former number 1 to sign up for LIV. Turns out that he thought it would be a great opportunity to bring LIV tournaments to Australia, and Greg Norman, the CEO of LIV League, just recently mentioned that it was also the possibility of him owning his own franchise one day that really urged him to finalize the deal. Moving on, here's what Norman had to say about signing up Cameron Smith. Greg Norman ran a pretty aggressive and ambitious recruiting campaign when it came to rounding up golf players to play in his Saudi-financed league. He was ready to offer them anything and everything. It was pretty obvious in the way Phil Mickelson was given a bunch of signing commissions and how Tiger Woods was offered a huge pay. But what about Smith? What made him come on board? Greg Norman opened up about this topic and said that he spoke to him personally before the process was finalized. During this meeting, the older Aussie made sure that the 29-year-old champ was fully aware of what he was stepping into. He was told about the consequences, and the future opportunities were also discussed with him. But what really intrigued him was the idea that he might get a chance to build a franchise of his own in Australia. Norman mentioned that he got really enamored with that prospect, and it was perhaps the one thing that excited him the most. And from the looks of it, Smith was very much on board once this possibility was put forward, as Norman implied that he took an actual interest in the structural aspects of this idea. Well, even though the platform through which he's getting to do it, this might not be perfect, it's good to see the Aussie getting a chance to do something he's passionate about. Up next, let's get into the details of the franchises that so intrigue the world number 3. Just recently, LIV's debut season came to an end with the team's championship finale, and during this event, the president of the league, Atul Khosla, shared a lot of details regarding this concept. Although it's not yet confirmed as to when this plan would finally come into action, but it looks like the league is going to begin incorporating some of it into their model from 2023. Here's everything that's been revealed until now. From what we know, the captains will be getting a 25% equity stake in the franchise, while LIV will be keeping the remaining 75%. Okay, that's not a bad way to begin things at all. The league doesn't really plan on selling off the franchises right away, so how will they generate any income? Right now, the team is set to make use of sponsorships, merchandise, and team prize money as their basic income. The league plans on growing from 48 players to a total of 60. The reason behind that is the fact that each of the 12 teams will have to add an injury substitute who will also travel with the team. Now, how is Smith doing in LIV right now? From the looks of it, the pro golfer is ready to take hold of his own franchise. He is currently the captain of the All-Australian Punch GC. The names on this team include Matt Jones, Wade Ormsby, and Mark Leishman. As the captain, Smith is truly the one in charge and has a lot of say in the way decisions are made. This includes the manner in which the team travels, along with what new members would be added. Apart from this, he also has major authority over however he wants his team to practice or train. And of course, once an Aussie franchise comes into being, then Cameron Smith will, of course, be a part of it. Up next, let's take a look at what he said about this possible promotion. Well, looks like Smith is ready to take on this additional responsibility of becoming a captain. While talking to the media last week, he was asked a bunch of different questions regarding this new venture, and it was pretty clear that the world number 3 had given it some proper thinking. He mentioned that he would have to work within a budget and that he'll be in charge of what his team would be putting on. Apart from that, Smith also revealed that he would have some authority when it comes to picking sponsors. That sounds really cool if we're being honest. Well, it's definitely going to be exciting to see how LIV manages to pull all of that off, or if it's going to blow up in their faces, something PGA would just love. Now, let's let's look at how the players feel about this new long offseason. There's one thing that we must credit LIV Golf for, even despite all of its controversial roots. It's given the players something PGA could never, and no, we're not talking about large purses with prize money touching the ceiling. Nope, the thing we're discussing here is the much-awaited offseason. Everyone is super excited to finally get some time off away from the fields. Many players have already thought of a list of things they're going to do during this time away from the sport, and since it's the first time they're getting this opportunity, some of the lists are pretty interesting. Following up, here's how Harold Varner is feeling about it. In his own words, Varner is simply pumped to finally get this time off. When he was asked about what he was planning to do on this break, the man revealed that he had an itinerary planned. Hunting was at the top of his list, followed by some golfing at Michael Jordan's exclusive golf club in Florida. Apart from this, he's also looking forward to finally being able to spend some quality time with his family, especially his son. Lastly, he's not the only golfer with a fully planned out offseason. The concept of an offseason is brand new to the players, and from the looks of it, they've been waiting for quite some time to get it. The 46-year-old Heinrich Stenson mentioned that he had longed for such a thing for 17 years, and now that it's finally here, he's gotten very creative with it. Apparently, the golfer wants to make the most of it, and well, we're all here for it. He mentioned that he'd finally get to spend time at home in Orlando, and that he'll be taking his family to Sweden to celebrate Christmas. Apart from this, he also mentioned that he'd work out here and there, but for him, finally getting some quality time to spend with his loved ones was the major goal. What's interesting is that Stenson has publicly admitted that LIV's limited schedule was one of the main reasons why he left PGA behind, and what's more is that he's definitely not the only one. So maybe PGA should take notes and ensure some time off for its players to keep them from joining the rival league. That's a wrap for this video, folks. What do you think of Cameron Smith's main motivation to join the league? Apart from that, what's your opinion on the brand new offseason in golf? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos like this. See you in the next one with the latest updates.